So today we're talking all about radical acceptance. Radical acceptance and what that means for me. Okay. So in the last video I was talking all about being afraid of being perceived. And I think that stems from just not wanting to be looked at and not wanting people to see the real me, whether that's my appearance, whether that's my personality. And I feel a part of that has to do with social media. And this is a sentiment that isn't like, this isn't the first time we heard this, right? And I feel like there are a lot of pressures to look a certain way, think a certain way, do things a certain way. And oftentimes we're scrolling through social media, seeing all these different people with certain aesthetics. They're beautiful. They have straight white teeth. They have long hair. All of the things that we may not have ourselves that make me or make us feel less than. And this is an internal struggle that I've had for a very long time. It kept me from doing things like this. It kept me from being my authentic self because sometimes you don't want to look like everyone else. You don't want to be the, what the norm is. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that and my struggles with being perceived or um looking a certain type of way or being a certain type of way. Um, so one of the things that I really struggled with was my smile. And people told me, like, oh, you have a beautiful smile, whatever. But to me, people normally, like, when you look at social media and just media in general, most people have nice, straight, white teeth, beautiful, beautiful teeth. And we can talk about how that in itself is a status symbol. To have good, straight, white teeth, you are perceived as someone that have their life together or that can afford good dental work. And that is not the case for everybody. And I feel like that can hold a lot of people back. It helped me back, especially when it comes to doing things where my face is shown. And that's just so crazy to me. Like, I should be able to have a way of expressing myself in front of a camera and not feeling bad about it because I'm afraid that somebody might, you know, make fun of my appearance. Something that a lot of people talk about in doing social media about the terrible bullying that people can do in their comment sections and messages that they are sent. And that's just, I don't feel like good, genuine people are doing that. I feel that it's people that are miserable with their own lives or just like to do things to hurt people. And that's not something that should hold you back. That's not an excuse. I'll say that. It's not an excuse to keep you from doing the things that you want to do in your life, especially when it comes to putting yourself out there, being a content creator, being a musician, being whatever you want to be. That should not be an excuse because then you're putting the power in other people's hands. You're no longer being your authentic self and you're allowing other people to dictate what your life will be. And I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to allow people that are miserable in their own lives, that have nothing better to do than to criticize the way that you look or the way that you do things, and keep me from my dreams and aspirations. Thinking about that now, like that's wild to me. Like, and I feel like there should be, I don't know, how should I say this? Putting in boundaries. Putting in boundaries, I think, is a great way to kind of protect yourself from that. And radical acceptance means not only putting in those boundaries, but also being like accepting of yourself, being yourself in a way that no one else can push you or sway you. Radical acceptance mean you can be yourself, your authentic self, regardless of how people feel, regardless of what their perceptions may be of you. And radical acceptance is a part of fear. And I feel like once you push yourself outside of that fear, on the other side of that fear, then that's when there's transformation, and there is a change in your life and the things that you want to do. There's no longer a block. There's no longer there's no block there anymore. That can be an aspect. That can be a particular section of the blockages that's keeping you from doing the things that you want to do. I know it is for me, or was for me. And I feel like the more you push yourself, the more you have that radical acceptance, the easier it gets to do these things. Like, when I came to do this video, a part of me was like, man, I don't have anything to say today, or I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to, have something to talk about for an extended period of time. And the more I talk, the more I get comfortable, the more I am able to kind of take the ideas that I have and express them in a way that is easy for me to do right now. And that feels good. And I think that the same thing applies to radical acceptance. It's a practice. It's something that you have to continue to do, push yourself to do, in order for it to become easier, and all the distractions and the noise from other people will start to die down. And I love that for myself, because I understand in my heart that once I can get a hold on that, the sky is the limit, and I can really do whatever I want to do, and to be happy in my authentic self. So, yeah, that's just some thoughts that I have. Um, I am actually starting the artist way. Um, Funny story, I was looking to get the book. I saw Dochi, one of her old videos on her channel, and she was talking about the artist way. And that kind of triggered me to kind of look for the book. And this isn't something that had just recently come by me. I've heard about this book constantly over the past couple months, and I've kind of like put it in the back of my head because apparently it's like this whole course that you go through for a couple weeks, like 12 weeks or something like that. And I was just like, I don't know if I have the time. I don't know if like I in the mind space that I'm in, if I'm able to do that. But this time I heard her talking about it, and the things that she was doing within her first week of the course, and something told me to kind of look into it. So I decided to look for the book, but I was like, I really don't want to spend money right now. Like, and I thought about that. I was like, I don't want to spend the money, but that's not going to hold me back. I'm not going to allow money to hold me back in doing the things that I want to do. And I went to the library website to look up um, this book to see if they had the book. So I didn't have to spend the money on it. And they had it. And it's funny how the universe works. If you want something, the universe makes a way. And I mean, it's the library. The library have just about everything. Like, and even if you can't find it there, they'll order it for you. So use the library. The library is amazing. But I was able to find it, and I got some other books too that I'm excited to dive into. But um, yeah, I am doing the first week. I have some like things that I need to do, task, and you also have to do um, artist dates, and you got to do morning pages every single morning. So the next video will probably be about my first week of the artist way, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what that brings up in me. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. See you guys next time.